A huge indie crossover event sparked by a power-hungry baddie destroying worlds left and right. The need for a new hero is now, but first, you have to go through a tournament of heroes to be the chosen one. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been working all day, and this is Blade Strangers for the Nintendo Switch. A world run by the PC master race known as Motes are in a war against a war eater known by the name Lena. The defenders of this world known as Blade Strangers have all been defeated, and just as all hope seems lost, the Motes resort to one final move, calling on parallel universes and pulling them into their world, to face each other to find out who will be the one true Blade Stranger who will defend the universe from Lena. If all else fails, Lena will reign supreme and destroy everything in her path. The fighting mechanics in this game are fairly straightforward. If you've played BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, you may find this game pretty quick to pick up. You have your direction inputs and your 4 face button attacks for light, heavy, unique, and skill attacks. Everything else is built from there. Pressing different face buttons together opens up different offensive attacks such as throws, additional offense to continue your chain of combos, and ultimately your ultra skills and heat up. Heat up works like a last-ditch effort to get your ultra skill on if you're getting your butt handed to you in a match. It's sort of a way to try to even out the fight so that way it balances out someone that's really good with someone that's not so good. Although I may be on the minority with this, I really like the fact the button inputs for this game are not that complicated. I beat the story mode with every single character, unlocked everyone, and I felt learning their movesets were fairly easy in order for me to get through. I applaud Saizen for this because it's a tough call to make when creating fighting games. My biggest worry was the speed at which the characters were fighting at when I would watch this on streams during like tourney exhibitions. I saw it one time and it ran fairly slow and I was a little concerned, but I can assure you they definitely made some changes. They must have listened to fan feedback, and this game runs just like any other fighting game. It's very evenly paced, and the combo inputs are just very snappy and very responsive. The game also does a great job teaching new players to the fighting game genre and veterans alike. They show how their characters work, going through missions where you can actually learn the basics of each character's moveset along with their combos, learning how to get the maximum use of each Blade Stranger. The online's been fairly solid for me. There were some hiccups when I played online in terms of finding someone to play with, however once we were fighting, we were going in. The matchmaking at the time I played online worked amazingly well. Like I actually fought people who played as bad as I did, and it was great. We both had a good time, or at least I hope the other person had a good time because I actually won all my matches. The story reminds me of something from the mid-90s where there wasn't too much to it. Each character you go through has the same premise. The only difference with the main 9 characters you start off with before unlocking the last 5 is what universe they come from. The other thing, and this is super minor, is there's this weird frame skipping thing that happens with the loading screens for the versus sign, as well as when you're in the level before the first match starts. For every fight, there's like a weird screen. I'll show you guys on the screen, clearly you're seeing it here, but it like skips down or like freezes up a little bit before the battle starts. Very minor, it lasts a couple seconds at most, and then it's gone. My time with Blade Strangers has been nothing short of awesome. Although I have my qualms with the story of this game, I can let that slide for the fact that I have a game that includes a number of indie characters crossing over that aren't in Smash. Mine is Shovel Knight. I've waited a year and a half for this game to release, and it didn't disappoint. You can jump from Gunvolt to Solange to Lion Gate to Emiko to Curly to Isaac and have a blast fighting with any of them without the difficulty of having to learn quarter circles, zigzags, and charge moves. The only other thing I can add is the way the game ends with each character. It makes it seem like there was supposed to be more of the story, and it might have been cut short for time constraints or even budgetary purposes. I don't know. I hope it leads to a sequel of sorts with a more fleshed out story. It's a straightforward pick me up and play with your favorite character, and if you decide you want to get competitive, the game has modes to teach you how to get even better, which is why Blade Strangers is today's Nintendo Spotlight Pocket Edition. You can pick up Blade Strangers digitally and physical for $39.99. There's also alternate covers, there's 3 of them, with a random chance for one of the 2 keychains. So if you're a maniac like me and are trying to pick up all 3 alternate covers, just remember the keychains are randomized, so you're not guaranteed necessarily to get one or the other. But anyway, this is Joe clocking out, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Love y'all.